Evil Jester, why not? First things first, it's time to get dirty. The hat, I mean, not us. So just mix up some paints, water it down, and just dirty up that Jester hat. Teeth. We're making our teeth with polymorph plastic. These are little pellets that you melt in hot water, very hot water, so please be careful. And then you simply roll and mold and shape and cut into the shapes you like, in this case, big, sharp teeth. And then when it dries, it goes hard and sets like you can see here. Now it's time to make that great big Jester mouth, and we are using good old latex and cotton wool to build up our prosthetic jaw. And once you look like the KFC Colonel, you know you're on the right track. Start sticking the teeth where you would like them to go and just building up that big smile as you go as well with more latex and cotton wool. Don't worry about those teeth, we will be putting more latex and more cotton wool over the top of them just to hold them in place, but for now we just want to put them in the place where we would like them. I'm putting bigger teeth on the bottom and shorter teeth on the top just because I like that effect. Now just a quick tutorial on that lovely eye that you saw hanging from the Jester hat briefly at the beginning. More of that later. I do have a full tutorial for this eye on my channel. I will link that down below, but this is just a very quick rundown of how I created that using a polystyrene ball. Of course, the eyeball hanging off the hat is optional, but I just thought it would be fun and a little bit scary. I also hung some teeth on there as well. Human teeth. Well, not real human teeth, obviously. I got them off Amazon, but yeah, you know. Anyway, back onto the tutorial. So just carry on building up the mouth, and you can see me here just dotting on some latex over the tops of those teeth just to hold them in place. And like I said earlier, we will go over with some more latex and cotton wool, which is what you can see me doing here. Once Mr. Mouth is fully dry and set, I recommend leaving him overnight, then you can start the paint job. I'm using alcohol paints, but you can use whatever you happen to have to hand. You can use grease paint, you can use water-based paints, you can even use a little bit of lipstick and eyeshadow if that's all you happen to have, it's fine. And I'm using a mixture of different colours to make a nice kind of rotten gum effect. Don't forget to yellow up those teeth also. Lovely. And just keep building up the colours in very thin washes and layers and stippling different tones in to give a really nice organic feel rather than a kind of solid painted look, as you can see me doing here. I also painted some redness around the edges of the gums just to make them look kind of irritated and like they're bleeding, because I think if you were a nasty evil gesture you wouldn't be so hot on the old dental hygiene really. next step is optional, but it really does add something to the final look, and that is just to create a wet shiny look on the teeth and gums. I use gelatin, which I bought from Nimb Prosthetics, and simply melted in the microwave and painted on. Time to get wet.
You love it when I get so high.
I created the same kind of effect on the teeth with simply some clear nail varnish, and like I said, it really does add to the effect, so although this is optional, I would highly recommend it. Now here you just see me hot gluing both the eyeball and the teeth onto the Jester hat. That's a sentence I never thought I'd say. And just adding a little bit of red alcohol paint just to add that nice bloody just torn from the human body effect. And once we've done all that prep, it's onto the application. First off, you want to remove your prosthetic from your face cast with lots and lots of powder so the latex doesn't stick to itself. If you don't have a face cast, incidentally, you can use one of those polystyrene heads, or you could even make this piece flat on a suitable surface. And by suitable surface, I mean not your best Chesterfield dining room table. But if you make it flat, then just bear in mind it won't fit quite as well as it would if you made it on a face shape. Then you just want to block your eyebrows out using some layers of glue and then just some powder over the top, and then put that prosthetic against your face and draw where the prosthetic sits so that you know where to apply your glue. Apply your glue, and incidentally, I forgot about this stage. Yes, I forgot about this stage. I decided just to do another little extra row of teeth to sit underneath the prosthetic because I just wanted this Jester to look extra evil. So I just applied a little bit of glue, stuck some extra teeth on that I made earlier, and then put a little bit of latex and cotton wool over the top, let that dry, and then I marked where the prosthetic was going to sit and stuck it on. So now that you look like the Gruffalo, you want to go on and start creating the texture on the rest of the face, which is what I did before I put the prosthetic on, because, you know, you had to leave time for the lower jaw to dry, and rather than having downtime, I just thought I may as well get to work on the rest of the face. So I just applied latex and cotton wool on that forehead just to create that texture, and then started gluing where the prosthetic would sit and applying glue to the actual prosthetic itself, and then just sticking it down and applying more glue around those edges and just sticking them down well so they blended into my skin as good as possible. Once I finished gluing down the edges, I stippled over some latex and then applied a little bit of extra latex and cotton wool just to further blend those edges and create texture on the rest of the face. By the way, if you can hear singing in the background, it's my 3-year-old. She sings all the time. Anyway, once that is all in place and dried, you want to start colouring. I started off with a red base tone and just stippled this all over, again using alcohol paints as always, but use whatever you happen to have. Once you look like you've got a rather dramatic sunburn, then you want to start going in with some different colours, similar to how you did the jaw. So basically yellows, greens, purples, just to create a nice rotten effect. You want to create a nice dark base because we will be going over with kind of like a white cream paint later on. Because basically I wanted to look like a clown. Jesters and clowns are sort of quite closely linked, so it's kind of an evil jester clown type thing. So yeah. You also want to paint the inside of that mouth as well. Now I'm using water-based paints because they're safer to use around your mouth than the alcohol paints, and I'm going in with a red first and then a black to create more depth. And then just using the same black water-based paint and red water-based paint around my eye because, again, alcohol paints aren't great around your eyes. Once I was happy with my base tones, I went in with the cream paint. Now, this isn't just any old normal cream paint. Oh, no, no. This is special effects cream paint, scary skin cream paint. Now, I can't actually remember where I got this from, so I'll see if I can find something similar and link it below. But basically, the idea of this is you paint it on quite thickly and then it kind of cracks. So it gives like an aging effect of like a sort of an old cracked porcelain doll or old sort of clown makeup, and it's absolutely brilliant. It was really cheap, but it's absolutely brilliant. I can't recommend it enough for these kind of effects. I just paint a little bit into my hair as well. Now, once that white base is down, I just then went in with some water-based paints and painted the rest of the Jester features. So a nice red nose, clown-like nose, and then a kind of a star shape on the eye. I wasn't really quite sure where I was going with this, so I just kind of took it where I thought it should go. Added another finger in on the star. And once I was happy with that side, I then repeated the same kind of effect on the other side, but with a different colour. Now, you don't really need to worry about symmetry with this Jester because he's meant to be all evil and gnarly anyway. And then I just darkened up the eyes with some black eyeliner in the waterline because it was looking a bit too clean and nice, quite frankly. And for that same reason, I also went in with some black eyeshadow and just kind of shaded around portions of the face and dirtied the Jester up a little bit. The final touch was just to go in with some more of that black FX paint black water-based paint, sorry, because I didn't feel like my mouth was looking quite deep enough. And I just extended that smile line as well, and it looked really effective. So yeah, I'm glad I added that finishing touch. And finally, I simply painted my neck and chest that would be showing outside of my costume, and I also painted my hands and wrists and dirtied up my nails because no self-respecting evil jester would have clean nails. I mean, come on. And for the absolute final finishing touch, I put on my jester hat. I painted a little bit of fake blood on because why not? It's Halloween. And there we go, the finished Jester. I really hope you like this evil Jester that I came up with out of my warped imagination. If you did, please like this video, comment down below. All these things help me in the algorithm. The YouTube algorithm doesn't seem to be liking me very much at the moment, so anything you Beauts can do to help out, I would be ever so happy and appreciative of. And don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you for more scariness next time.